Kenya today, a new situation taking place in that part of the continent with lawyer Minguna, who is still in Dubai. He's crying to the government of his country to release his Kenyan passport so that he can go back home. We should take note that this is the second time that lawyer Minguna has been deported out of Kenya. The first was after the fake swearing in of the leader of NASA party, that is Raila Odinga. After that, he was investigated and discovered that he was using his Canadian passport, and he had denounced his Kenyan passport because he actually represented the lawyers in Raila Odinga's swearing in. He was deported back to Kenya, to Canada. After that, the lawyers looked for a court injunction and a court support for him to come back to the country. When he came back to the country on Wednesday, he was kept in the airport for 2 hours, and then later it continued again till 2 days. After that, the security officials did not let him go through the town. Instead, he was deported to Dubai. So he has said the government security officials mishandled him before sending him to Dubai, and is asking the government to release his documents because he is stranded in Dubai. Talking about what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the president, Kabila's residence in the eastern part of the country, was attacked yesterday. Some rebel leaders attacked his building looking for him. Unfortunately, or fortunately, he was not in the house, but one of the soldiers in the compound was killed. This is the second time that the president's house has been attacked in search of the president. The soldiers are asking the president to step down, particularly the rebel groups, I beg your pardon. This problem started the end of 2016 when Joseph Kabila's mandate had gone to an end, and many people in the country are asking him to step down, which the Electoral Commission says they are not ready to organize elections up to now. Viewers, good afternoon. You're welcome to Views on the Continent on Afrique Media. Today is the 30th of March 2018. It's a special day for Christians. But on the program today, we're going to talk about two things. First of all, what is happening in Kenya, and then we'll go over to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as you all know, you have the opportunity to call us and give us your views. The numbers are going to be on the screen after I've given us the topic. So today we are talking about what is happening in Kenya. We know that lawyer Minguna, this was one of the main people behind Raila Odinga, but he is the leader of the Renaissance Party in Kenya, a main opposition leader too. So this was one of the main people who supported the NASA leader Raila Odinga during his fake swearing in, which took place in that part of the continent. Now he has been deported to Dubai. The deportation took place on Wednesday after he came back from Canada. We should take note that when those who supported Raila Odinga, because the government said government officials, lawyers, judges should not support this fake event of the swearing in of Raila Odinga, which took place in January. But lawyer Minguna was one of the people who were at the top and supported the swearing in. I was beside the judges to bless Raila Odinga as the president of the country. So the government has said all those who supported this event will go down for what they have done. And since they started investigating those who carried out this activity with Raila Odinga, they discovered that lawyer Minguna was not even using his Kenyan passport at the time he was in Kenya during the swearing in. He was using his Canadian passport, and he had denounced his Kenyan passport. So because of this, they said since he preferred being a Canadian citizen than a Kenyan citizen and going against the government of Kenya decided to deport him back to Canada. Since then, his lawyers have been struggling to get a court order for him to come back to the country because he is a Kenyan citizen. And finally, they got granted this order on Monday. So on Monday, the preparation was being done for him to get back into the country. When he got back into the country on Wednesday, security officials blocked him at the airport and kept him there for more than 2 days. According to what he posted on his Facebook page, he said the security officials mishandled him before deporting him back to Dubai. So from Canada, he came back to Kenya, and then he has been deported in Dubai. So right now he is in Dubai, and what he is saying today, he wrote on his Facebook page and his Twitter account that he's calling on the government of Kenya to give him his documents, because he says they have seized his Kenyan passport and he is stranded in Dubai, and he needs his documents in order for him to get back to his country, Kenya. That is what we are talking about today. We're going to hear what President Uhuru Kenyatta said vis-a-vis Mr. Minguna's situation and what Raila Odinga did. We should take note that he was supporting Raila Odinga, but at the end, Raila Odinga went back and reconciled with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and now he's left in the middle. So Raila Odinga, when he heard he was at the airport, went to see him. So we're going to watch videos that will tell us all about that. Moving on to the second topic, talking about what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yesterday, the president's house in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, that is President Kabila's house, was attacked. The rebels thought that he was in the house, but fortunately he was not in the house. A soldier was killed in this incident. We should take note that this is not the first time that President Kabila's house has been attacked. It is the second time. The first took place in his house in the presidency in the northern part of the town. They heard information that the president was in his house in the northern part of the DRC, and they attacked his house, but he was not there still. And now again the second event. This comes after we know that attacks have been taking place in DRC since the people have been calling on their president, Joseph Kabila, to step down. His mandate ended by the end of 2016, and he had to step down and elections take place. But he said the Electoral Commission was not ready, and the Electoral Commission to confirm that they were not ready to organize elections. So he should be there till they can organize elections. Since then, there have been attacks and heavy fighting, mostly in the eastern part and the northern part of DRC. People have been in a situation where there is unrest, calling on their president to go down. And now they are complaining, the government is complaining that rebel leaders from Rwanda, those who took part in the 1990s events in Rwanda, the genocide, have come into DRC, and they are the ones really causing the confusion, because they have joined the rebels in DRC, and they're the ones perpetrating all this attacks. So you call us and give us your views on this situation happening in the two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are talking about today. So to start up this event, let's watch this first report, which talks about the details happening in Kenya with Mr. Minguna complaining about what is happening to him in Dubai. We'll be right back after that.
Power struggle between Kenya's government and judiciary. The Interior Minister and Police Chief have been found guilty of contempt of court. A judge said they had ignored a court order requiring them to release a detained opposition politician, Minguna. He was deported in defiance of that order. There are reports that he was beaten up and dragged onto a plane bound for Dubai. Here's the sound as he was manhandled by security. Well, speaking to the BBC, Mr. Minguna said he was being unfairly treated.
What I want is my right. I have my birthright as a citizen of Kenya and a constitutional right as a Kenyan to come in and leave Kenya at will, unhampered. I have a right of conscience and thought. I have a right to be involved in any peaceful political activity I wish to.
I asked the newsroom's James Cotnell to tell me more about the case.
It all started in the tensions around the Kenyan elections last year. They were cancelled initially by the Supreme Court, and then the opposition pulled out of the presidential poll, which was rerun, and President Uhuru Kenyatta was sworn in again for another term of office. But the opposition leader, Raila Odinga, insisted that he had really won the polls, and he had his own mock swearing-in ceremony. He said he was the people's president. And the man at the centre of this latest incident, Minguna, officiated at that mock swearing-in ceremony. After that, there were claims of treason against him, and in February he was deported. They said he wasn't a real Kenyan citizen. He then tried to come back into the country on Monday, but was detained at the airport, in a toilet at the airport, in fact, not allowed into Kenya until this latest deportation.
So the court has said that the way this was handled was wrong. What can they do about it? What are the possible sanctions against the officials concerned?
these are not just any officials, these are very, very senior officials, including the Interior Minister, Fred Matiang'i, including the head of the police, Joseph Boynet. So really very senior security figures within Kenya. And they've been found to have been in contempt of court, essentially because they did not release Miguna to come to court, and he was held in detention despite a number of court orders arguing that he should be presented to the court. Now, they will be sentenced, the court says, and could face up to 6 months in jail and a rather hefty fine. So that's a pretty extraordinary situation for these senior officials to be in. And it also underlines this growing tension between...
We're going to have other videos which will still tell us details of this situation, but you've heard from that BBC audio which was telling us so far what has been happening in Kenya. Let's watch this other video of what happened in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the house of former leader, or the leader of DRC, I beg your pardon, as it was attacked, thinking that Kabila was at home. We'll be right back after that. From there, we'll start receiving calls. Our numbers are going to be on the screen.
This remote village in eastern Congo doesn't look like the headquarters of an armed group, but there's a lot of young men standing around. Villagers tell us the day before we got here, many of them carried guns and wore uniforms. But the Rwandan rebel group, the FDLR, are trying to present a new image. When they're ready to meet us, we're greeted with singing and dancing. Some of their members are accused of genocide and mass rape. But today it's all claps and smiles. First, they want to show us their guns, which they say they've laid down. There's a small cache of weapons inside this hut. There's a stack of Kalashnikovs here, although many of them look very old. In the middle here, there's a stack of slightly larger machine guns, and on the floor there's a pile of ammunition, although there's not many more bullets here than there are guns in the room. There's only about 50 rifles in here, but there's a lot more men than that in this camp, so there must be more weapons hidden somewhere. The FDLR say that they've laid them down because they're ready to talk peace. But the Congolese army, supported by UN troops, wants these men to come out of the bush and hand over their weapons. And the rebels' old enemy, the Rwandan government, isn't interested in their demands for political recognition at home. But the FDLR's leaders say they won't be safe going back unless Rwandan President Paul Kagame negotiates.
We do not want to hand these weapons to the UN. The UN wants to disarm us and send us to Kagame to be killed. We ask African leaders to instead find a solution an African way.
Some other members of the FDLR are wanted in Rwanda for genocide crimes. But most here are too young to bear that guilt. The UN says many have grown up as child soldiers in Congo. UN troops are supporting the Congolese army to clear all the armed groups from the east. Commanders of both forces say they're ready to attack the FDLR soon.
What we observe on the ground today is still FDLR continuing its activities, including doing human rights violations. We don't see them either surrendering, while we would very much welcome a voluntary surrender from themselves.
The FDLR says a political solution is needed to end ethnic tensions that date back to the 1994 Rwanda genocide and before. But they're probably too weak to get any of their demands using force. People are waiting to see if they'll try. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay, that was a video from Al Jazeera from the eastern part of Congo. Those are rebels in the bushes, and majority of them are from Rwanda. This video had to come later. Instead, we had to have the video of the house of Kabila, but we're going to get that later. So this particular video is showing us the rebel group where the journalists and the United Nations have met some of them in the forest. They are those that are attacking and helping the other rebel groups from DRC. Majority of them are from Rwanda. So the government of DRC says they should go back home or they are going to kill them, but they cannot go back home because they say they're trying to negotiate with their leader Paul Kagame, and he does not want to listen to them because they are qualified as rebel, and those who majority participated in the genocide which took place in Rwanda in 1994. So they cannot go back home till Paul Kagame promises them that they are not going to harm them before they are going to accept that they should be disarmed by the United Nations. So far those rebel groups are still in the DRC, and they're helping the rebel groups from the DRC to also cause havoc in the country, asking their president, Joseph Kabila, to step down. So this is what we are talking about today. The numbers are on the screen. Call us and give us your views. Either you talk about Kenya or you talk about DRC. There's a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Emanuela. Good afternoon to all the televiewers of Afri Media. I want to say that the situation now in Democratic Republic of Congo, I would say the president is the cause of the situation. I wonder why these African leaders are too selfish for themselves. If there is another attack in the residence of the president, he is the cause of it. Your term of office is over. Organize election, let them elect other people. Let them elect new president. You don't want to. The people have been asking for you to step down. You don't want to. Okay. It means he wants to see blood shed in that country, which is not good for the people of Democratic Republic. So I want to say, African leaders, I don't know, they are really selfish. They are selfish for themselves indeed. Why? Why are we so wicked to the common man out there? Why? If the situation is getting worse today, it means they are indicating to him that his time is up. Let him go. Let him behave as though he don't want to share blood. Let him go in peace, so that he will be reckoned to. He will be reckoned with, like what happened in Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe never wanted to share blood. That is why he came out publicly and announced to the public that he is going on retirement. He resigned peacefully, and the people were happy, very, very happy. Jubilation took place in Zimbabwe, likewise in South Africa. So I wonder why he wants people to die before thinking of stepping down. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. I think African leaders should change their mentality. Their mentality is very, 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 very wicked. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for calling and giving us your view on this topic. There's another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Hello, good afternoon, Emanuela. Emanuela, thank you very much for these wonderful topics of today. Emanuela, we are really grateful for such things like this. These ones are just something to teach a lot of lessons to some citizens of Africa, Emanuela. Sometimes they think by trying to support something for some reasons, not knowing that it might put them into very deep hole. Look at what Mingwana is now being stranded everywhere. Look at what has happened to Mingwana now. Not knowing, you see, this is how politics is, Emanuela. Look at Mingwana is now frustrated everywhere. Odinga has actually reconciled with President Kenyatta. Now they are doing well. Mingwana is confused. Meanwhile, before he denounced his Kenyan citizenship, and then that day he was happy to take the Canadian, and that day he was deported already. So you now see he's frustrated now, begging for his passport to leave that place. It is quite a horrible situation on Mingwana's part, Emanuela. This is what, if they were doing this thing justfully, maybe I think some other, or even the African Union itself or others would have pleaded on his behalf to actually release him. But because of his betrayer nature, for not minding the citizens of that nation and not to think of the developmental aspect of that country, has put him into a very disastrous position. Emanuela, for the second part again concerning President Kabila's of Democratic Republic of Congo, Emanuela, really I feel so much pity. I cry every time when I think of Democratic Republic of Congo. That is a blessed nation. I don't know what I can say concerning that nation. It is really a very wonderful and blessed nation, but because of this selfishness and colonialization of Africa has really put Democratic Republic of Congo into serious problem. Democratic Republic of Congo, with its resources, it is able to feed the whole of Africa, Emanuela. But look at the country; it's in a total sham. I cannot really explain what is going on there. Look at, they are saying this is 3 months and rebels are going to attack President Kabila. It is not strange. It will not be surprising to me for what is happening because he merits that. I will not imagine a nation which, when it's time for election, since when he refused going down, stepping out of the presidency, and he said no, he's not going to step down. Meanwhile, it was already, his term for his mandate ended already, and then the Electoral Council itself backed him by saying they didn't get any money, they didn't have any money for organization of electoral program in that country. It is so sad for Democratic Republic of Congo and for President Kabila. It is so disgraceful. A man who he has embezzled a lot in that nation, so he should think about the citizens of that country. Because each time they call people rebels, these people are not rebels because they wanted to be rebels. They are rebels because they have been deprived of their rights and privileges which they merit in that country. So for him, if he likes the country, he wants to see Democratic Republic of Congo become what the forefathers have wanted before, because these people have never wanted any good even for Democratic Republic of Congo. The France people has never had any good intention because they wanted to extract everything and then they go with them and allow that country in total suffering. That is a country who is supposed to be, like we always follow from Professor Lumumba. He always says things about democracy. If you go to Democratic Republic of Congo now, you will be shocked about the situation there. We just pray that God will help them. They keep on describing the people as rebels. Now he was not home, but one day they will target him because this is 3 months. The attack is coming. This is the 3rd attack in 3 months. That should tell you something is really serious. So if he has the country at heart, then he should do something about that. Same thing like for President Zuma. He himself said no, he will not allow South Africans to suffer because of him. So if Kabila also loves the country and loves the citizens that much, would he want to see Congo become an emerging nation, like they always say? So therefore, he should think about the citizens and try to do something about it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for your view on the program. Thank you for calling. So another thing happening in Kenya is that we should take note that the court actually granted to the lawyers of lawyer Minguna the access for him to come into the country. So they gave a court order that he should be sent back to the country from Canada. So because the security officials in the airport did not respect what the lawyers or what the court had said, the court has decided to sanction the Minister of Interior, of Immigration and the police chief with a sum of $2,000 for not respecting the court order, because the court asked that they should allow lawyer Minguna into the country, but he was blocked in the airport for 2 days, and after the airport he has been deported to Dubai without his documents. So they are saying that these people are going to pay $2,000. We have a caller from Deutschland. Good afternoon, you're welcome to the program. Hello, we are listening to you. Can you put down the volume of your receiver?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, you're welcome. Go ahead with your contributions.
Okay, thank you. I'm Serge. I'm calling from Germany.
Okay.
I'll call about the topic for today. The Kabila problem, the problem of Congo. The problem of Congo is not the President Kabila, because we have to ask ourselves why the force. My English is not good, but I will try. Why the forces of United Nations? There are almost 20,000 people there, but there is no peace of this country. Their first mission is to bring peace of this country. You can ask yourself why there is not peace in this country. Almost 20,000 people come to make peace, but there is no peace. They are only there to take the oil resource for this country. And Kabila cannot live. There's no possibility to organize election in this kind of situation. So for me, the problem is not the President Kabila. The problem is those people who take the oil resource of the country. Their complicity with France, with England, America, that is the problem. And before Kabila leaves this place, you have to secure this problem, the country. That is my contribution. Those people who called before and say Kabila is the problem, they have to understand what is the geopolitics of this world today. Today, our African nations are followed by the predator. They need all our resources. They don't care about our life. That is their problem. Our problem is not our president in Africa. It's those people, those predators, those community international as they call themselves. That is our problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Serge, calling us from Germany. Thank you for your contribution. We have another caller from the Republic of Cameroon. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program. Hello, we are listening to you. Hello. Good afternoon. We are listening to you.
Good afternoon. Yeah. What do you want me to do?
You called to participate on the program. Go ahead with your contributions.
I'll call back.
Okay. Call us back. The numbers are on the screen. Call us and either talk about what is happening in DRC. Like our last caller said, to him, the situation in Congo, it did not start actually in 2006. Congo has been having crisis before 2016 because France wants the resources and they are the ones who want him to step down. Because he refused and the Electoral Commission is not ready to organize elections, that's why they are having all the crisis. Because even the United Nations is there, they know where the rebels are, but they are not doing anything to solve the problem. That's our last caller's view. We have another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Emanuela. Good afternoon, viewers of Afrique Media. Emanuela, I think what is happening in Kenya is one of the stupidest politics I'm seeing, unlike what is in Cameroon. If Odinga, they swore in Odinga, and the government is doing nothing to arrest Odinga, and instead arresting Minguna, I don't think it is fair. Now, the last time they chased him out of Kenya and seized his passport. Now he's stranded in Dubai, where he was being thrown. I don't think it is a good habit. This African president should start learning, should start copying from others. How can they be doing this to a citizen? Now, following what is in DR Congo, let Kabila step down. If Kabila will not step down, he's instead provoking the situation. His term of office is finished. Now, he doesn't want to step down. People are angry, unlike what is in Cameroon. Everybody is angry. They attack his house. If he was found there, today we could have been saying rest in peace. If he is wise, he should step down and hand over powers to another person. Let him call for election. He's always postponing elections. I don't know what is wrong with these African presidents. Trump even has the right to call them shithole countries. They keep on postponing it. Was that place meant for him alone? Is it a kingdom where you only put a new king when the former one is dead? Africa should, especially Central African states, they should learn from other countries, like in the ECOWAS. They should learn from Nigeria and Ghana. There's no democracy in these countries. That's why you see people fighting every day and night. They're arguing every day and night. Well, I raise my case. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for your call. We have a caller from Nigeria. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead with your contributions.
Okay, my contribution to this program is my contribution to this program is to Africa to organize themselves and to going in one way so that avoid such kind of programs that find that infection to Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our caller from Nigeria. Thank you for giving us your own opinion on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Views on the Continent on Afrique Media. The numbers are still on the screen. We are waiting for your call. There is another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Hello, good afternoon, Emanuela. Good afternoon to the viewers of Afrique Media, and good afternoon to the lovers and participants of this program. Emanuela, I think Miguna is getting exactly what he deserves. Yes, because you can come into the country and you participate in a dubious event and you denounce your citizenship as a member of that country. If actually he denounced his citizenship as a Kenyan, then he should have been arrested. Yes, because a foreigner should not come in and swear another president in a country which already has a president. So I think he's just being treated like this because of his dual nationality. If not, he should have been arrested. And Emanuela, I want to say that another issue that is causing serious instability in Africa today is this issue of dual nationality. Yeah, when some people have this dual nationality, they just behave anyhow. They undermine the integrity of their own country with the pretext that, or because they think that when the worst comes to the worst, they will go to their second home, or they will go abroad to where they have another nationality. So I think it's time African leaders should think of this dual nationality issue, because I'm beginning to see it like another tool used by the Western powers to destabilize Africa. You will hardly see a white man coming down to Cameroon to say that he wants to obtain Cameroon nationality. You will hardly see them coming down to Kenya to say that they want to obtain Kenyan nationality. But they are willing to give it to you because they want to use you for their own benefit. They use you, they brainwash you, they encourage you to cause instability in your own country because they will claim that they will be there to protect you. Why can't he just go back now to Canada and leave people in peace? If he claimed to be a Canadian citizen and they have deported him, he should just go back to Canada and stay in peace. Now, Odinga and Kenyatta, they have reconciled. We all know that politics is a dirty game. You don't just come in to it blindly. And I heard even Raila Odinga advised him to comply to the rules given him at the airport by the immigration police, but he refused. They were asking him to provide his Canadian passport so that they stamp it to show that he is coming in as a foreign citizen. But he refused because he knows what he is doing. I think he just deserves what he's getting. Yes, and I think he should be barred from entering the country until he comes in as a Canadian citizen. That is what I would say, because we all know that Odinga was crazy. And a barrister like Miguna, I don't expect him to participate in such events. And he has even been an advisor to Raila Odinga when he was prime minister. So I don't understand. Maybe he was just brainwashed by Odinga, and at the end he refused to listen to him again. Now he's standing between the deep blue sea and the red devil. So I think he really deserves what he's getting. And if actually he denounced his Kenyan citizenship, then they should send him back to where he belongs. It means he's a foreigner. Thank you. I will be back.
Thank you very much for your contribution on the program. Thank you for talking a lot about the situation in Kenya. The numbers are still on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We have no less than 10 minutes to be together, so call us and give us your view. Either you talk about what is happening in Kenya or talk about what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the house of the President, Joseph Kabila, that has been ambushed for the second time. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program. Hello. Good afternoon. We lost that caller. There's still another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Emanuela. Good afternoon, the viewers of Africa Media. I'm very good to be part of today's topic. Firstly, let me start with Kenya concerning Dr. Miguna that I just recently deported back to Dubai, that is crying for his passport to be released.
Yes.
Emanuela, I will first of all say this: whatever a man soweth, he shall reap. I believe the judiciary in Kenya is now messing up. If really they respect the court of law, they should have respected the swearing in of the incumbent president without creating a problem in that land. For Odinga to be sworn in February, is against the law of the land, because there can be no two kings in a land. That is by the way. Now, if Munguna is not crying that, or his lawyer is crying that the court of law is not respected, did they respect the court of law in the first instance when the second result came out? That is a million question to be asked. I just believe that what is happening is just a mess to Kenya, because the world is looking at their mess. To come back to DRC, for people going again to attack the incumbent President Kabila's residence, I believe is out of order. We want peace to reign in African continent. People should allow peace to reign. Destroying people's or property is not the best for the land. Creating war, unrest in the land is not the best. They should have allowed him, now that he has promised that he's not going to be partaker of the next election. Let the election be according to his statement in December 2018. Thank you very much.
On this particular topic, thank you for calling. There's still another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program. You're welcome. Hello. Yes, good afternoon. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Douala.
Go ahead with your contributions.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Jude Dinga, calling from Douala.
Okay, go ahead with your contributions.
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk mostly on the problem in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay.
Please, I don't really know if our leaders usually watch African media. If they are watching, I want to call on Kabila, President Kabila, that he was just opportune to be present in that country. He's not from that country. This man brought the late Kabila brought him from Rwanda as a rebel. Then, unfortunately, now he was the president. I want to plead on behalf of him that he should leave the power for peace to reign in this country. You cannot imagine. This would have seen people dying a day and night, and they keep resisting in power. They don't want to quit the power. Why? I don't know. Some people are shouting. I would thank African media for the work they are doing, for the tremendous work they are doing. But it seems our leaders, they don't listen to radio. They don't even care, because if they really have that mind, they will not resist. They will not be in power. People are shouting. The whole world will talk. They are still imagine somebody that is man that got finished like 2016. This is 2018. What is he doing there? He's doing what there? I don't know. African media, do you have possibility to get his contact, his number? Because if I in person have the number, I will call him. Ask him to drop from that. Hello?
Yes, we're getting you.
Yes, because if I in person I have the number of President Kabila, I will call him, ask him if he's really a godly person, he should drop from power and allow at least people to live in peace. Yes. Thank you very much. That is all I have for him.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you for telling us what you think about this particular topic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost to the end of the program. Call us and give us, we'll probably take 1 or 2 callers before we end the program for today. You know that the program ends every day at 4 p.m. That is GMT +1. So 4 p.m. local time. So call us and give us your view. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon to you, Emanuela, and every other person watching the program. Now, what is happening in Kenya is something that everyone who wants to really understand the matter will not agree with what this lawyer of the opposition is doing. He claims he is a lawyer, and of course, a lawyer should know the laws of the land. One, he has 2 nationalities, and the Kenyan government does not accept dual nationality. He is supposed to be a Canadian, and then he comes into Kenya with a foreign nationality. Now, the government, of course, I do not really know what the government did to him, but then if what he is saying is true, then it is very sorry. And then I just want to talk about why the government is taking such actions. The government, of course, has gone a very, very long way to come to a compromise with the opposition. Raila Odinga is now with Uhuru Kenyatta. He's working hand in glove with the government. And so I do not think that this lawyer coming all the way from abroad and trying to get into the country and minimizing the government in place is something that the government is going to accept. That is why they are taking every measure that they can to suppress him. And of course, any other person who wants to stand against the government, just think about it. If anybody can minimize the government and go away with it, people will laugh at the government. So that is why I think the government is taking repressive measures, I beg your pardon, to probably keep him out of the country. And it's a message as well to people who have double nationalities that they should keep one. You cannot have a Canadian nationality and you want to get into the country as a Kenyan. You have to go through the checks like you're coming into the country as a foreigner and no longer as a Kenyan. Look at this man. Where is his family? Probably his family is abroad. His family is in Canada. And he's just coming to destabilize a peaceful nation. Who knows what he's going to do once he gets into the country? Who knows why they deported him without doing anything to Raila Odinga? Those are the questions we should be asking today when we talk about the crisis in Kenya and the recent development with this lawyer who just wanted to get into the country as a citizen and not as a foreigner. I'm Linda, joining you from Nigeria. Thank you very much, Emanuela, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you for your call. We'll take a last caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the program. Hello, good afternoon. We're listening to you. They're indicating to me that we lost that caller. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the program. I want to thank all those who called and participated on the program today. It was a very interesting program. Sorry to those who could not get through because we had some who could not get through to us today. Thank you to all the technicians behind the program. Have a wonderful day in the company of our programs on Afrique Media. Regina will be with you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for the Pan-African debate, and you'll get details with her on with her panelists. So thank you and stay blessed with the company of our programs on Afrique Media.